achieved.
All right. And welcome in to Studio Day Heffrey this morning, as I've got a 3-pack for you. As you can see, if you look at the little scroll up top there, I have a 3-pack for you involving Dak Prescott and his case for the most valuable player, 2 Cowboys who need to get more snaps, and my pick for the next Dallas Cowboys head coach. So welcome in on an exciting day in Studio Day Heffrey. Step 1. This is just going to be a quickie about Dak Prescott. I don't know if people are realizing this, but the worst part about the Cowboys underachieving, I would say mostly due to their coaching, but the worst part about them underachieving and being 5-4 is that teams like the Seattle Seahawks are winning games. The Baltimore Ravens are winning games. And so right now there's an MVP race going on, and the 2 guys who are getting talked about the most, and rightly so, are Lamar Jackson and Russell Wilson. But that should be a 3-pack of names that includes Dak Prescott, because when we look, how do we measure quarterback play in the NFL? And don't say passer rating. Don't do the outdated stuff. Get to the current now. Total QBR for quarterbacks, we are now 9 weeks down for Dak and the Cowboys. And where does he... number 1! Total QBR on the season, Dak Prescott 78.8, Russell Wilson 78.2, Patty Mahomes 78.1, Lamar Jackson 76.2, Deshaun Watson 75.1. Those are the only 5 guys worth mentioning in the race for MVP, and the fact that Dak Prescott is not mentioned with Russ and with Lamar Jackson boils down to one reason: wins. So if you put him with Greg Roman and John Harbaugh, you'd have more than 5 wins. I don't know if you'd have more than 5 wins with Pete Carroll. That's my sneaky coach that I also don't think is very good. But Russell Wilson is a superhero, and they have been winning their football games, although they should have been winning a bunch of them by more, because that's the thing in common with Dak and Russ. Their coaches limit their impact on a game when they should embrace the fact that that's the best player on the field and let it rip. A couple quick other notes on Dak. Let me make sure I get them here. This is from my buddy Patrick Kahn on Twitter. On 3rd and 7 or more this season, where you should not convert, 3rd and 7 or more is supposed to be leading to a punt. Dak, 26 of 37 for 434 yards, 2 touchdowns, 17 first downs, 127.5 passer rating, and completing 70% of his passes. That's the best completion percentage in those scenarios, the second most first downs, and the second best passer rating. Get out of here. That's superhero stuff. What about if it's further? 3rd and 12 plus. The 3rd and 12 plus conversion rate in the NFL from Bobby Belt. Baltimore, 22%. That's 5th. Cleveland, 24%. Man, these are pretty high numbers for 3rd and 12. Cincinnati, 25%. Buffalo, 37.5%. And Dallas, 44.4%. On 3rd and 12 plus, you convert almost half of them because of your quarterback. And finally, Gil Brandt tweets, Dak Prescott had 5 of the top 20 most improbable completions of Week 10 from Next Gen Stats. The most improbable, of course, was in the second quarter, the 20-yarder to Coop. The probability of completing that was 18.9%, but Dak went ahead and completed it. 5 of the 20 least likely completions were completed by Dak Prescott. Coaching staff, if you guys hadn't been spit in the bit and you had 6 or 7 wins, Cowboy fans would get to hear about Dak Prescott as one of the 2 or 3 MVP candidates in the NFL. How much fun would that be? Moving on. I got 2 guys who I say need more snaps for the Dallas Cowboys. Number 1, this one won't be a shocker, Blake Jarwin. Let's compare Blake Jarwin to Jason Witten, and I'll just give you a quick overview of the 2 players from my perspective. I think right now, Blake Jarwin is a little bit better receiver, all things considered. I think Witten is more reliable. Witten may be better in contested catches. Witten may still be better as a route runner, although I don't know because speed and quickness play into that. But obviously, Witten is still a capable tight end. But Blake Jarwin, 13.1 yards per catch and 3 touchdowns. Witten, 9.4 yards per catch and 2 touchdowns. So Jarwin's getting you 4 more yards per catch. He has scored more touchdowns, and he has done that while getting about half as many snaps as Jason Witten. Here's the other interesting thing. I think Witten is a slightly better blocker than Jarwin is. Slightly. Neither one is a good blocker, but Witten is slightly better. Jarwin's a slightly better receiver. Jason Witten has been in on 267 plays where he ran a route, 186 plays where he's asked to run block. So they're putting him in routes, of course, almost 100 times more than they're asking him to run block. Jarwin, who plays half as many snaps, has been in on 108 pass plays and 118 where he's asked to run block. So Witten has run 100 more pass plays than run blocking plays when he's the better blocker, and Jarwin is asked to block more than he's asked to be a receiver, and he's the better receiver. Come on, Cowboys. Blake Jarwin. Put him in. Let Blake Jarwin get his shine on. Come on, JG. Let the Hall of Famer watch Blake Jarwin a little bit. At worst, it should be a 50-50 split. It should not be Jason Witten playing double the snaps of Blake Jarwin. And finally, today from Studio Day Heffrey in your Jeffrey time, Tony Pollard. He's got to get more action, at least just to see if the numbers on him can hold up. Because the things we've talked about with Ezekiel Elliott, maybe you think he's lost a step. Maybe you think he's not quite the same player. I fall in that camp. Not quite the same player he was when he came into the league. I think he's got a little less juice, a little less explosion, a little less quickness. Certainly got the power, certainly has the vision, certainly has the decision-making. But, I know, a lot of numbers for you. I'm a nerd. Zeke. He has a broken tackle percentage of 14.8%. The really good running backs in the league are all over 20%. The really, really good ones are in the upper 20s. Zeke is at 14.8%. Tony Pollard is at 24.5%. These numbers are from Pro Football Focus. Tony Pollard has a 10% chance of breaking any tackle. Any tackler that tries to bring him down, Tony Pollard's got a much better chance of breaking that tackle than Ezekiel Elliott. Now, Zeke will run through the guy and get you 2 or 3 yards, but Pollard has a chance for that guy not to tackle him at all. Now, that's just Pro Football Focus. Other people measure these things too. From my buddy Adam, JT13 on Twitter, Sports Info Systems has Ezekiel Elliott at 13.9% broken tackle rate, 2.3 yards after initial contact. Tony Pollard, 25% broken tackle rate, 3.3 yards after contact, a full yard. And that sounds crazy because, Zeke falls forward. Pollard's not that kind of guy. But those numbers, all that reflects is that sometimes Pollard doesn't get tackled by that guy. So I don't do that to hate on Zeke, although I know you all think I'm a Zeke hater. But that's cool. That's all right. That's your issue. But Tony Pollard, Blake Jarwin need more snaps. And finally, in today's Studio Day Heffrey video, my choice for the next Dallas Cowboys head coach, it was Benjamin Albright who first brought his name up to me on the social, and it's Greg Roman, the offensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens. If there's any way they'll let him go after this year for a head coaching opportunity, well, they have to. That's the rule. If there's any way he would accept a head coaching opportunity, to me, this is way more realistic than Lincoln Riley leaving somewhere where he is basically a god at Oklahoma and can be there for the rest of his life. Greg Roman's an OC. If he got to be a head coach, you got to take it, right? Greg Roman is the offensive coordinator that designed the offense around Lamar Jackson. He's adaptable, which is my number one for NFL head coaches. How adaptable are you? Greg Roman is adaptable. Here is the offenses he's coordinated and their points per drive ranking in the NFL. 2011 with Alex Smith, he had the 12th best offense. 2012 with Colin Kaepernick, the 9th best. 2013 with Kaepernick, the 12th best. 2015, how about with Tyrod Taylor in Buffalo, the 11th best offense. And in 2016 with Tyrod Taylor, the 9th best offense in football, before he was a, whichever Ryan it was, scapegoat, Rex, I think. So he had Tyrod Taylor in the top 10 on points per drive because he can build an offense around whatever you give him. Now with Lamar Jackson in Baltimore, numero uno, they are the best offense in football on points per drive because Greg Roman took what he had and said, I can build around that. I'm not making the case that Dak is like Kaepernick or Tyrod or Lamar because I think Dak's a better thrower than all of them. And I think you'd be wise to run less than all of them. But you get an adaptable, smart offensive coordinator who knows how to build around the pieces that he has, and you are ready to shine, my friend. All right, that's it for today. Today in the comments, leave your choice for the next head coach, if there were ever an opening, or leave the Cowboy you think deserves more playing time. I'll catch you guys on G-Bag Nation today. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel and check 1053thefan.com. Day. See you guys.